The next few poems will be about the girls. On Mother's Day, you better see her. If it weren't for Ma, you wouldn't be here. Mame. There once was a lady named Mame. How she treated her husband was a shame. He was nice as can be. How he ended up with she is a riddle no one can explain. This is another exercise limerick. It's called the spare. I do the treadmill thrice a week to get the body that I seek. Makes no difference what I desire. I still can't get rid of this damn spare tire. Whenever the girls together get, the gossip flies. There's no end to it. If you weren't there, I'm sure you knew the rumors and gossip were all about you. If most wives would abide by this limerick, their husbands would treat them like queens, and they would think they were in honeymoon heaven. It's entitled The Wag. There once was a lady named MacGregor who badmouthed her husband forever. He said one day when she was done, if you'd wag your tail instead of your tongue, we'd get along much better. This is called a Zack Attack. Joe had a son named Zack, so handsome she had a Zack Attack. With a winning smile and eyes of blue, when the girls saw him, they had one too. This next poem is dedicated to my mother-in-law, Irene Freistrofer, a class act. It's called Irene. We all love our mothers, to quote an old saw, but it's a lot more difficult if she's your mother-in-law. I am a lucky man. The Lord smiled on me. The world's greatest mother-in-law, God gave her to me. She minded her business and gave this advice. It's nice to be important, but more important to be nice. Another of her sayings should behoove us all. If you can't say something nice, don't say anything at all. When I was a kid back in the 1950s, they had a lot of drive-in movies, and they were really popular. And this poem is written about the drive-in movies. A couple from Ohio I know were at the drive-in show. They were very discreet in the back seat, but they didn't see much of the show. Another limerick, as you probably can figure out, I love limericks. It's called Grace. There once was a lady named Grace whose neckline plunged down to her waist. I tried and I tried to look in her eyes, but mine drifted to a more titillating place. You know, a friend of mine that was a lady said, "Is that all you guys think about?" And I said, "No. We think about football and fishing and beer and lots of other manly things." And I says, "But I must admit, when we were young, we thought a lot about the ladies' assets, that is, their physical assets. But ladies, I want you to know that now that we're older, nothing has changed." The lady had a humongous derriere that hung over both sides of the chair. I gave her another chair like the other, but the load they still couldn't bear. I grew up in Decatur, and I had to include a limerick about my hometown. So here it is. It's called Alligator. There was a lady from Decatur who had a pet alligator. He would only eat things that were sweet. That's why the gator never ate her. Would you folks like to hear another limerick? You know, most people think limericks were originated in Ireland, but actually they started in England. This limerick is entitled Michigan. There was an old man from Michigan who loved to fish and fish again. He caught one so large, it pulled him off of the barge. Now he lives on the bottom of Lake Michigan.